My 42nd birthday is coming up in less than a month now. And for me, birthdays have always been a time to reflect upon the last year of my life and to write down anything that I would like to work on for the next year. When I was younger, for example, going into my 40s, I wrote a song about, so long, hello 30s, into my 30s rather. And then when I left my 20s or turned 30, I wrote a song called Hello 30s and So Long 20s, two different songs. So basically, I use my regrets and things that I wish I would have done differently as kind of a guideline, and then focus out into the next year and say, okay, this is how I'm going to change it. So for me, I'm turning 42 in less than a month now, and I'm working on the three things I'm working on for myself would be to focus on three laws of highly successful people. And I'll rattle them off to you. Number one is highly successful people, for whatever reason, seem to feel like they're better than everyone else. So for me, that's a bit of an issue because I don't feel like I'm better than everyone else. When I was a teenager, I felt confident enough to brag about, I used to say, like, I'm young, I'm good looking, I had a job, one of the first people that I knew out of high school having a job and making decent money. And I was proud about that. That was, I'm 42 now, or turning 42, and I was 16, 17, working full time. You know what I mean? So now I don't feel like that pissed off teenager that I was. So revisiting some of those feelings has been weird for me, but it's a challenge. Of basically, rule number one is to believe in yourself and feel strongly enough about yourself that you consider yourself better than other people. I'm going to work on that. Number two, happily dissatisfied. Highly successful people in the world, if you ask them, hey, like, why don't you just stop? Why aren't you just happy? Like Jeff Bezos, couldn't you just be happy making money and selling books online? The obvious answer is no. Hey, Elon Musk, why couldn't you just sit down on your laurels and be happy when you invented PayPal? The obvious answer is he moved on from Bit2 or PayPal and went on to many different things. So you could say somebody, like, as an example, to Elon Musk, he's happily dissatisfied or never satisfied. Whereas most people would be like, man, I got $1 million. I ain't doing anything. And the last thing that I'm working on, number three, would be impulse control, which ties in with the other two. If you have access to a lot of money or are extraordinarily influential or are convinced that you're better than everyone else, like number one, then you should probably make sure that you have impulse control, because your entire life can be undone very easily with some mean tweets, with some aggressive behavior, with getting in a fight. For a lot of people, impulse control has to do with not drinking, not doing drugs, not flying off the handle in anger. So for me, I'm just ratcheting down these bolts. I've been sober for so long, years and years and years. I want to say a decade, but the truth is, I think when we bought the house that I'm in now, I had a glass of wine one year, and then I had some of that aviation gin. I think that was 2016. I had some aviation gin. So it's been a while since I've drank. Sorry, not 2016. It was 2018 or 2019. Like maybe 5 years ago, I had some aviation gin, but I don't drink as a rule. If I do drink, I allow myself one drink a year. You can find more videos on that, or more information on that in my video, How I Quit Drinking, my How I series on YouTube. So, yeah, impulse control. We all deal with things, and I think having impulse control is generally something that I don't struggle with, but I don't struggle with it because um, I've worked so hard on it. As a Scorpio, they say about Scorpios that they can have incredible self control, but they would rather not. So I have self control like everybody else who has self control up to a certain point, and then like for me, one of the worst places to be is just in screw it. Why am I even bothering? I feel like that sometimes, and I have to overcome that. So this is something I'm working on. So for 42, my years of 42 years on the earth, I'm working on this year as of after my birthday in October. I'm working on number one, feeling like I'm better than everyone else. In short, these are just short form. Feeling like I'm better than everyone else. Number two, never satisfied or happily dissatisfied. And three, working on impulse control. And like again, these are all things that I have been working on, but I'm going to kind of tighten down on and drill down on a bit more. There's no major milestones like I don't have anything like go vegan or quit drinking. Those are all things that like I went vegan 10 years ago. I quit drinking a long time ago, as I told you. I have no guilt or remorse or any sort of, I don't feel any particular way about allowing myself to drink once a year. Throughout the pandemic and all the way back to like 2018 or 2019, I have not drank even one single drop of alcohol. So as far as like being really hard on myself or having like a Spartan diet, that is not a problem that I have. So you could say I have financial goals. I have things I want to do financially, but that's not in that list of three things there. So that's kind of what I'm working on as 42 approaches. I have been preparing for a while, and the answer to everything and life and the universe is 42. Take care, everybody.